Splash in the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. You are now tuned in to the Head Above Water channel. You can type that in, Head Above Water in YouTube or Head Above Water in Asia. I got my partner on the line. All right, Sharp Game. What's going on?
Happy to be here, man.
Oh yeah, let them know where they can find you at.
Well, you can find me at Guy on Girl TV on YouTube, and you can find my website at chooseyourrelationships.com.
What about your other website?
It's badboysecretsclub.com.
All right, become a member to that website and your books. Let them know where they could read up on some of that good game. The name of your books.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the name of the book is called Love Can't Wait, and if you become a member at Bad Boy Secrets Club, you get a free book.
Love Can't Wait. All right, and today's topic, what we're going to talk about today, it's very deep. All right, we're going to talk about colorism within the black community. At first, I was going to talk about colorism issues amongst black women globally, but then I said, no, we have to bring up the males in this too, because I've seen a few males here and there say some sucker shit on the internet as well. So we're going to go deep and talk about the psychology of a person that, has issues of their own color with their skin.
Yeah.
And, don't think that all it takes for your problems to go away is just to become light skinned or start dating someone of another race, because dating someone of another race sometimes just invites more problems on top of the issues that you're already facing. And one more thing, colorism amongst black people isn't as bad as the colorism in some of these other communities. I'm talking about as far as how we treat each other. These other communities are way worse.
Oh yeah.
All right, and I'm pretty sure you've seen that when you were traveling, not only just when you were traveling abroad, but in America as well. These other communities, they don't take kindly to other people of their own community that has a tan, don't they?
No, they'll as with these other groups, I think the majority of these other groups and the majority of people within these other groups, as soon as they find out who you are when it comes to your nationality, that's basically in their mind, they automatically treat you a certain type of way. Based on my experience, because I've heard women, and I still know women to this day, I can be talking to them about something that's going on, whether it's in the workspace or in my personal life, and the first thing they'll ask me, what is he or what is she? So I'm like, why does that have anything to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything that I just said? And see, in their mind, they treat you based on your nationality, and they program like this, like hardwired, really,
Exactly.
So but with us black folks, we aren't necessarily like that. I mean, of course, you got some people that are like that, but that's not the majority. Most black people don't really take it that far, unless they got some type of mental issues going on, or maybe they're a coon or whatever, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And another thing, like you said, is all about, there is a difference between, nationality and colorism. But, in Canada, whenever you go to Canada and you bring up a story, like you said, people want to know, okay, the race of the person you're talking about. In Canada, if you say, man, so today I saw this native guy, automatically the moment you say native, the other person you're talking to is going to say, oh, what now? They always say that. And a lot of black women, they think that, some black women think, okay, if I was lighter, things would be much better. And that's not necessarily true. Like, I'm old enough to know, and I know, respectfully, you're old enough to know when there was a point in time where being light skinned wasn't cool. Being biracial was not cool.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. When I was growing up, it was like that.
right. I mean, that shit looks cute. People, media makes it seem like that's cute and exotic now, but at one point in time,
Yeah,
being biracial, you got picked on both sides.
yeah,
That shit was not cool. Like my dad's biracial. He
yeah,
was picked on growing up his whole life.
yeah, yeah. It's people in my family look biracial, but they're not. It's like I got a cousin that can pass for a white guy, but he's not. And the funny thing is, when I was growing up, I never heard the term biracial. I just started hearing that until the 90s.
Right, right. And like you said, and you said this before once we were talking on the phone, that there's no such thing as biracial.
It's not. It's not really. That's something that somebody created within, I think, probably within the media or social media outlets or networks. I mean, in reality, see, here's when things get real. When you go to court or you have some legal problems, that's when you
Right.
find out that there's no such thing as biracial. Or if you go to jail, the officer that's booking you ain't gonna look you up and down. They'll say, okay, let's check that box. He's not gonna say, oh, he's half white, half black. You're you're a white Hispanic. You're whatever people come. You're Blasian or you're whatever people come up with. They're not the officer gonna look at you. Okay, he's black. He's white. He's Asian. Whatever. Whatever the box they have available. And when you go to court, the judge is going to look at your case. Okay, this is a black male engaged with a white woman, and there was some type of abuse. Or okay, yeah, okay, and they're gonna call your name, and he's gonna be like, okay, yeah, that's him. They look like him. Everything matched on the paperwork, and that's how it's gonna go. It's not gonna say, hey, did your is your mom black? No, no.
Right. And white folks, Caucasian people. I don't like to use the term white anymore. Caucasian people. I
There's a
like
difference.
I like to get specific because East Indian people are technically classified as white. All right,
Yeah,
so
over here, yeah.
Caucasian people, they're pretty good at spotting out somebody who has some black in their bloodline or an other in their bloodline. You'll see people who you
Me too.
think you see people who think like you think okay, this person's 100% Caucasian, and
No.
somebody look at them and be like, hell no, they're not one of us.
Yeah,
This person, their mother's Asian,
yeah.
and
I can tell most of the time.
no, like what I say that because there's a girl that lives, she lives in the next building over me. This chick has like
Okay.
reddish brown hair, natural reddish brown hair, and looking
Uh
at her, I just think, okay, this is just a normal Caucasian girl because I know what somebody that looks half white, half Asian looks like. No,
huh.
like
Yeah.
she's actually half Asian. Her mother is Thai. I'm like, oh damn, I didn't know
Okay.
that. But I didn't know that till she told me that. But she goes when she goes back to the Netherlands, that's where she was raised. She was like, everybody that's Caucasian know that her mother is something else. And they said she says they treat her differently. People in her family really don't fuck with her like that. So it's like thinking that
Wow.
you're just gonna be light skinned and your problems is just automatically gonna go away. You see, that's what they put in the media. They like
Yeah.
to promote a lot of these racially ambiguous people in the media as okay, we're gonna promote them because there's somebody just like this person right here that looks like everybody in their community. For example, like
Yeah.
a Drake, for example. Now Drake,
Yeah.
when he first came out, this guy wasn't he wasn't saying he was black at all. He was saying he was
No, it wasn't.
Jewish. He was saying he was
Yeah.
another. Then he kept rolling his mother around. Now here he
Yeah.
didn't start bringing his father out to the forefront till years later, and here he has a famous uncle. Like his uncle's a legend. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And an innovator on the guitar. You never
Yeah.
heard about that till later on. You had to Google that. So then years later, he rolls out his dad. Now people are like, claiming him as black. But then you have other people like in Asia that will just classify him as white because his skin is very light. They classify
Yeah.
just like people out here, they look for clever ways to call each other white. So in the media, they'll promote racially ambiguous people as, okay, this person is successful because they're easy to promote worldwide. That's just how it is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But thinking that your problems are gonna go away just because you become light skinned, that's not true because a lot of women today, a lot of black women today aren't really light skinned.
No.
Skin whitening creams is the #1 cosmetic around the world. A lot of these black women, they weren't born the shade that they are now.
No. You know. Yeah. It's like when I was in even after I left Japan and just going places like Thailand and all over that region, it just it's people who have seen pictures of people in my family, and it was like, how come they're so light and you're so dark? Like what?
Yeah.
Or they'll see pictures of my mom. My mom, she was very light. It's as she got older, she got darker, right? And they'll say, well, what is she? I'm like, what? They'll ask questions like that. They'll try to make it seem like I can't believe I came out of my mom. I'm like, what? It's like, because in their mind, you have to be the same shade of your mom or your dad. Otherwise, there's something going on. That's just how they think. I don't really know. I never really asked them where they were coming from with it. I didn't go that deep with it, but yeah, it's a different mentality.
Right. Right. Because out here, I remember I was watching a video from that man. His channel is called That Japanese Man Utah. That's his actual YouTube name. And
Okay.
he was doing a response video to some other racist Japanese guy that lives. He's a YouTuber talking down on black folks on YouTube. And he made a
Oh, you got it,
response
bro.
video, and he said, what is actually considered black? Because he was talking about one thing, then he goes, well, what is actually considered black? Is Obama considered black? Because his mother's white. And my response to that was, it's like, hey, don't pull, your little. Don't pull your ways of thinking onto us. Don't project that onto us because just because you
Yeah.
guys think like that don't mean we think like that. And that's why I say colorism amongst how we treat each other isn't as bad as what it is in Asian community. Yes, there were a lot of light-skinned people that did get picked on and beat up growing up because they were light-skinned. Yes, there was a lot of dark-skinned people who got beat up and made fun of for being dark-skinned growing up. I'm not taking that away from, I'm not taking that off the table. Or they got picked on for the shade of their skin.
Yeah.
But the thing is today, even back then, I'm not gonna act like back then, it wasn't, nobody was hanging out with each other. I'm not gonna say that. Back then and now, black folks come together, whether it's a family reunion, a cookout, or just hanging out, a concert, or whatever function is going on, or just meeting up with each other, kicking it at each other's houses, or maybe a party or some shit like that. And you see dark-skinned people hanging out with other dark-skinned people, light-skinned hanging out with light-skinned people, dark-skinned people talking to light-skinned people. dark skinned and light skinned people dating and marrying each other, dark skinned and
Yeah.
dark skinned couples and light skin. You see all of that shit. We don't say, hey, you can't sit over here with us because you're dark skinned. You can't sit over here
Yeah.
with us because you're light skinned. Yes, there might be some jokes that go on, but we don't shun each other because of the pigmentation or the hue of your pigmentation. And if somebody does do that, we check them for doing that. You see, they don't check
Yeah.
each other for doing that shit out here
Nope.
in places like Asia
Not at
or
all.
South
Not at
America.
all. Not at
People,
all.
people
They
be
don't
like,
check each other at all.
people would see out here in Asia, you have to have your picture stamped on your resume. So let's say somebody does hand in a resume without their picture, and it's like, damn, this motherfucker, he's pretty smart. 4.0 grade average, elite. Hey, let me call him in. Yeah, hey, whatever. What's your name? Okay, yeah, come in for an interview. I want to interview you. When are you available? Tomorrow? All right, come in. You come in. You too dark for him. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, when it comes to us, most black families, we embrace the young kids. If maybe they, regardless if one of the parents is white, I mean, we kind of embrace them because I think it's more of a maybe it. On the other side of the family, they more than likely won't embrace the little kid. Yeah, they might say, "Hey, you can come over." Yeah, but they won't. It's always going to be somebody over there. Maybe it's the grandfather or the uncle. Might not necessarily uh might say some slick stuff every once in a while or whatever. But for most black families, for the most part, they embrace the little kids because we look at it. I think most people look at it like this: it's not their fault. They can't pick who they parents. We can't pick who our parents are supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that has a lot to do with it. And as far as like a lot of people in the continent of Asia, they they don't check people. They let a lot of things slide. I mean, I've witnessed this thousands of times, where it's like somebody will say or do something that's rude and unnecessary, and I'll be like, "Hey, why did you didn't say?" I asked them, "Hey, why you didn't say nothing about that?" They'll say, "Oh no, it's okay." I'm like, but if you don't say anything, they're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over. It has to be a checks and balance system. Something in place to say, hey, that's not called for. I mean, I'm not going to stand for that, especially if I'm paying my money here. I'm really not going to stand for that.
Right. But in their community, it's like if you don't have if you don't think the same, like everybody has like you're supposed to think as one in unison over there. Everybody's
Yeah,
supposed to be on the same page over there. Nobody's supposed to
regardless.
have individual independent thinking over there. If you're somebody who has independent thinking, everybody says, "Hey, no, you're supposed to like green." All right, you be like, "Well, I
Yeah,
like blue. What's wrong with me liking blue?" Oh, you're an outsider. Nope, you're not one of us. You're ostracized from that community. So by them
yep,
even speaking up and saying something, first of all, if you don't speak up, then or denounce whatever it is that they're doing, it's almost like saying you agree with what it is they're doing.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It works for me. It's like, hey, I'm not dark skinned or tan. Do I think it's right? No, not really. But hey, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get ostracized, and plus, I don't have to worry about that type of shit. So, it benefits me. So why would I speak up on it? If I speak up on it, I'm saying that it's a problem. If it's a problem, then automatically, you're going to have to fix it. If you keep admitting to
Yeah,
what you're doing is wrong.
yeah. But the problem with that is if you're just thinking of yourself, okay, cool. But let's say you have kids,
True.
and let's say you're married. See, now that's a different game, different ball game there. what if somebody says or does something to your kid? And I've seen a lot of these parents, they don't do anything. They don't say anything. They just go along with it. That's why I'm like, why did you're neglecting your kids now?
Exactly. Because some of
And then
these. Go ahead.
and then if you say something, if I say what I'm saying right now to you right now I'm the bad guy now because I'm
Right.
trying to stand up for you because I don't like the way you're being mistreated.
Right. Then it's like if they have kids, right? Because
Yeah,
most see a lot of people they brag about having white skin, white skin, white skin, and like I said, out here in Asia, most of these people that quote unquote have white skin, they weren't born with that skin color. As a matter of fact, I came across some makeup artists on Instagram from out here in Thailand, and she showed a before and after of most of her clients. She just had a full page of all her clients, and the before picture, they were pretty dark skinned. Like they had this dark tan, but the
yeah,
after picture after she put the makeup on, they had very light like white skin after.
yeah,
So this skin tone that they walk around with, that they go to work with, you see people behind the counter with making money.
yeah.
That's not how they really look when they get home and take a shower, because they put that makeup all over. They put that shit on
Oh
the
yeah,
chest, on the hands.
everywhere.
Like it takes a long time for them to get that makeup done out here. And you think, okay, no, that's a natural look. A lot of people they have tan skin and acne too. There's a lot of acne in
Oh
Asia.
yeah.
It's just
That's from yeah. That's from that bad meat, bad food they've been eating all the years, and it becomes like a buildup, and then it turns, and their body give off like a reaction, and it could be acne, it could be pimples, it
yeah,
could be whatever.
yeah. Like most people out here have eczema or acne, or pimples, whatever, because they eat so much pork out here.
Exactly.
So when you walk, you're like, damn, people got clear skin. More than likely, it's makeup. Even the men put on makeup out here. And it's like
God.
skin whitening
Oh God.
creams and skin whitening makeup out here. But
Yeah, man.
what I really want to talk about is let's start off with black women first. Colorism in the black community amongst black women, and some of the shit that I see not only in America but out here in Asia as well. A lot of black women with color issues sometimes act like they're the most conscious women in the world, but that's only by force. They want to
Yeah,
they really want to completely distance themselves from all black people, but they keep
yeah,
getting their wake up call by the people they're trying to appease. So they're forced to
exactly.
have a certain level of consciousness due to the fact that the people they're sucking up to have a code. So if they have a
Yeah,
code, it's like, damn, I'm keep getting reminded of who I am. So now I'm speaking up for myself. I'm speaking up for other people like me. But really, if that wasn't an issue, you wouldn't even have anything to do with black. You wouldn't even speak black, nothing. Which you have the right to date with whoever you want to. That's not the issue here. The the issue is having self-hatred for the color of your skin, and then
yeah,
bashing people that look like you, thinking that, okay, I'm better than you because I'm laying up with this non-black person over here.
yeah. I just think that there's a lot of women out here that's like that. They're just delusional. They always trying to get uh they're looking for the next new thing, because what's going on around them, maybe it's they facing a lot of rejection, maybe they don't like the way their own life is going. So a lot of people be like, okay, it gotta be something else better than this. And they always looking for instant, like instant gratification, So there's a lot of issues going on. So it's like the next new thing, the next new car, next new clothes, next new man, whatever. So there's a lot of things going on with people that's like that. I think it's very dangerous to be around women that's like that because you don't really know what they're gonna do next. Everything is anti-black. It's like it's always somebody else's fault, but never theirs. You know?
Right, right. It's like we all are going through the same thing as, and I'm not even speaking for all. I think a lot of black women do have a certain level of self-hatred. I think it's more prevalent amongst
Yeah,
black women than black men because I don't see black men out here. Um, I mean, lately I've seen things on the internet and throughout my life, I've heard brothers saying shit like, "Oh, I can't get with no black woman" or whatever. Now, in a private
yeah,
conversation, I can somewhat give that of a pass because it's not like they're trying to get with somebody outside of the race out of spite. You dig what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's more so of a cooperation thing. Hey, the women in my life that I've dealt with, that I've been trying to get with, that are black women, it's just there's no cooperation, and more than likely, the women that they've been dealing with they probably had self hatred for themselves, and then they
yeah,
project that onto others. They
yeah,
project that on the men. It's like I hate myself, so me having a kid by you, I don't want my kid come out looking like me. So that
yeah,
that they project that self hate onto brothers, and not all black women like. That's why I don't get on YouTube shitting on black women like that. I don't. I
no,
always say that the best woman that you want to get with, even when it comes to traveling, is a black woman.
yeah,
But the thing is some of these type of women, um, they don't think before they speak sometimes. It's like they lash out and they just speak on emotion. It's like they always
yeah,
say,
exactly.
oh, all these brothers, when they get money, or not even brothers that try to get money, just brothers on a regular, just regular citizen level, they always want to get with somebody that's non-black, white, or someone who's lighter, who's light-skinned. And I'm like, hold on. So you mean to tell me that how come you always attacking the brothers for that? How come you don't attack light-skinned women with that same energy? Are you gonna walk up to
Yeah,
a light-skinned black woman and say, "Hey, why don't you get with your own light-skinned men and let some of these other dark-skinned sisters get with some of these dark-skinned brothers over here, and you just get with your own light-skinned men." You don't hear women saying that shit. And then
yeah,
some of these women, like, I gotta put it out there. Let me uh, give a little insight on my background. Like my mother, for example. My mother, she's a dark skinned black woman, married to
yeah,
a light skinned, well, I wouldn't say biracial, but a light skinned black man. All right.
yeah,
She said the same thing to me. All these brothers out here, they just want to get with somebody lighter. They in the videos with somebody lighter. I'm like, hell, you speaking about yourself. I'm like, do you not think before you speak? You talking about yourself. You married
yeah,
and had children with a light skinned dude. So you talking about yourself. Well, I'm like, so some of these women, they just lash out and,
yeah.
they don't think before they speak.
Yeah, I think a lot of people before they make comments, they don't really know what happens behind the scenes most of the time. Like I had a lot of women talking about the athletes and entertainers, meeting these other groups of women, mainly white women. A lot of times these guys get introduced to these women, especially athletes. It's not like all these guys ain't really got game like that now. Let's just be honest. It's not like they meet the girl at where you gonna meet them at the nightclub? I don't think so. I mean, you gonna meet them at where? The country club? I don't think so. You know, a lot of these guys get hooked up. That's how it usually happens. Um, do they have to take the offer? No. But do it have to be with the girl? No. But they chose to be with them for whatever reason. I don't know why. You know. But a lot of women that make comments, they don't really know what's really going on. Everything is not based on face value most of the time. You know, it's like it might look one way, but behind the scenes, he might not even be interested in women at all. You know, so I kind of like when I hear people make comments based off of face value, I really don't make too much of it. I just say they just don't know. You know, they just I don't know. They just I guess perception is everybody's reality, like they always say. You know? I don't make too much of it, really. You know.
I mean, if we're talking about these athletes, like, I mean, the top athletes right now are with black women. LeBron James, probably the number one athlete in the world right now. He's with a black woman. He has black children.
Yeah, yeah. But that's rare though. And they was in high school together and everything.
But I mean, like, okay,
That's rare.
you take Kobe
That's
out the
rare.
table, but you look at Shaq. I mean, he's retired, but black woman. It's just, I think what it is these women. I think the reason why these women are mad and bothered at brothers that just so happens to be with a non-black woman is because the relationship worked out. That's what I
Maybe.
think. That's why I think that they're really mad at. It's like, I don't think brothers just date. I'm not gonna say all. I'm gonna say most brothers just don't date women just to do it out of spite to shit
Oh
on
no.
black men. Because at the end
Oh
of the
no.
day,
No.
men get chose. I just can't walk up to a white woman like, "Hey, nah, you with me."
Yeah,
Men
that's
get
true.
chose. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think they see these men having families and they're actually getting along with the women that they marry and have kids with. Some of these guys are not that conscious of themselves. Let's be honest, but
No.
they don't talk like Azealia Banks and spew self-hatred rhetoric. A lot of these
No.
dudes don't lay up around non-black women and openly shit on black women around them that like that. They don't give off the same energy as a woman who is only getting with someone out of spite. It's total difference. You see Azealia Banks, she's on the internet talking about, man, fuck y'all, fuck you black men.
Oh,
That's
yes.
why I stay away
Yeah.
from you guys. I'm going back to
Yeah.
my white dick. I stay with the white dick. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad you brought her up. She's a lap dog, a bed wench. First, she
A
had the music.
lapdog.
Her music has never been. Her music is just not good enough. It's
Right.
it's not. It's just not much talent there. So she has to say some stuff. She's basically campaigning. Whenever you hear this is old game. Anybody that's listening to this is old game. It's old school. This goes back to when my parents were growing up. Whenever you hear a woman, a black woman that's just spilling this garbage, whether it's online or whether it's in public, and if it's anti-black rhetoric, what she's campaigning for white guys. This is old school game. This is not new. This I've heard my dad talking about this when he was growing up. He told me a bunch of stories that some of the black women used to do the same thing, and it's nothing new. But see, with her, she don't have no talent. The music is not good enough. She ain't never had a hit. You know, whether she independent or not, you can still have a hit. But she ain't never had a hit because the music is just not good enough. And what happens is, a lot of these girls and some guys too, when that money get low, they'll do anything and say anything. So it's like, it's do anything just to stay afloat. It doesn't matter what it is.
Now,
So that's
I can't confirm or deny if her music is garbage. To be honest, she might be
listen to it.
talented. She might be
Listen
talented.
to it.
I don't know. I don't really
You never
listen to
listen to
music.
it?
Nah,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't really listen because like I try not to listen to anybody's music. I try to just focus on just like the music I make or the beats I make on my website. So I don't listen to
Well,
other
I'm glad you
people's
brought.
shit.
I'm glad you brought that up. Your music Your production is better than hers. As a matter of fact, you need to get in contact with her and help her out.
Nah, she don't want motherfuckers like me to be in contact with her. I'm a jigaboo type.
Well, hey, I heard I saw your video. That was pretty tight. I liked it. Yeah,
I
I
appreciate
mean,
it.
yeah. So she needs to contact you because I've heard her music for the last. I mean, I don't continuously listen to it, but whenever she come up with something new, I preview it, and I was like, "Oh, this it still ain't good enough. It's no progression." And she's been out for like 10 years now.
She's been out for a minute.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, all right, if your music is hot enough, because I don't like go searching for people's music. So if I heard it, then I know it's hot. I've never heard any of her music. The only thing she's known for is just attacking people and
Exactly.
spewing self-hatred. You know,
Exactly.
So let me get into this incident about what happened at the Wild 'N Out show. Now we all know Wild 'N Out show is on MTV. Nick Cannon, he's been hosting that. That's been going strong for over 10 years. Now.
Yeah.
I think it's been like 12 years now.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Nick Cannon. I like the show.
Yeah, I like the show as well too. Great improv show. It kind of reminds me of Whose Line Is It Anyways back in the day, but it has a hip hop. It's black folks and other people of color as well doing their thing on there, and they bring guests. So what happened was Azealia Banks was on there the other day, and then she got brought into the Wild Style, which at the end of the show, that's when they freestyle and they clown each other. The whole show is about roasting each other and shitting on people. And somebody called her ugly, and I think there was a comment made about what somebody made a Wakanda reference of her, and she took that to heart. She went to the back. Well, she said something back at them. That person, it didn't work. She went to the back, started crying. Then the producers had to like stop the show, and then she came out and performed, but she didn't say a word when she came back. Basically, what happened was she said that they ambushed her when they roasted her, saying that she was ugly because of her dark skin, which nobody made reference to her dark skin because two of the lightest people on that show is ugly as fuck. You got the battle rapper Charlie Clips. That's a big ugly motherfucker. Just because somebody light skinned don't mean that they're handsome or they look good. Pause. That's a big ugly man. And the girl, Valentine, the girl with the red hair, she's an ugly wicked witch from the West, from the Wizard of Oz looking chick her damn self. So, people clown her for being ugly. So everybody gets roasted. So she said, she went on to say they were pre-planned colorist jokes. She said some little strong black Atlanta twink was prepared for me. Twink is a slang term for gay. Okay. Said how she wasn't prepared for the coon ass freestyle battles. I show up and a guy that's darker than me starts calling me ugly and being colorist. Then all of a sudden, a choir of the most disgustingly basic local cattle called urban pseudo comedic fat because you sit in a chair all day, greasy soul food induced south of the Mason-Dixie line, self-hatred as backward, post-Jim Crow, post-traumatic slave disorder, true self-esteemless clowns with their low skill and highly unimpressive resumes start going off about how the beautiful Azealia Banks looks. I never felt so much rage for anyone else than I did in that moment. Then she goes on to say, if I were to make fun of Nick Cannon's lupus and how sickly he is, I would be the bad guy, right? And then she put hashtag pray for Nick Cannon's immune system. Then she wished death on Wendy Williams. She went on to say she is just going to stay in her corner in the industry and keep dealing and dating her white men. But a couple months ago, she talked about how a white guy drugged her and raped her on the Breakfast Club. Then allegedly, Russell Crowe manhandled her and spat on her. She says every time she gives black men a chance, they do her dirty. And No, mama, like you do yourself dirty. That like your issues and you lashing out at people is because of how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror.
Yeah, it sounds like she shouldn't have never went on the show because the whole concept of the show is just to roast people. Even Nick Cannon gets roasted, so I don't. Maybe she was misinformed or wasn't prepared. To go on the show. I don't know, but she got some issues, man. Serious issues going on. Where?
Oh, it sounds like she should have never got a record deal. That's what it sounds like. You saying her music is trash. And,
Oh, she never got a record deal. She's independent.
No,
she never got a major record deal.
Most of these people, they're not independent. That's a smoking mirror that people like to say. I'm independent. That's good for marketing. Like, oh man, he's grassroots. Everybody.
No, not everybody. Not everybody, but she is. For sure.
Independent means like you put up your own marketing dollars, and you do. Most of these people, they're not really independent. Independent is like you have somebody.
They're on the internet.
Yes,
she's on the internet. That's it.
But that still requires marketing dollars. Viral marketing that still requires money. Like a lot of people said that. What's his name? That little racist white Latino Tekashi 6ix9ine. They were saying that he was independent. He's like, I'm independent. I make my own money. But
I don't know who. I don't know.
But he's signed to the mayor of Chicago. He has a brother that's in the music industry. He has an entertainment. He has an entertainment agency, and he signed to the mayor of Chicago. His brother. I forgot his name, but he's a big time agent in the music industry. So most of these people aren't really. That's a marketing tactic to say that somebody's independent. So
I don't know.
I'm not trying to focus on her independency, but what I'm saying is that women that talk that type of shit, they think, okay, if I talk like this, I'm blowing a whistle over to white guys, letting them know I'm down for you, I'm riding for you. Like you said, I want to be your guys' lapdog. But
it usually works.
It really don't work.
I mean, they get attention. That's what they want. They want attention.
They get attention, but they get the wrong type of attention. You see what I'm saying? Like when you come out here to Asia and you see these women out here, they do the same thing. These Asian women, they do the same. No black, no black this, white. I only use skin whitening creams and this, that, and the third. And what happens to these women? How do these women get treated?
They get taken advantage of.
They get taken advantage of. Nobody likes a suck up. Nobody likes somebody who's worshiping them and kissing their ass.
Yeah, but you can't tell them that though. They won't listen to you. If you try to say what you just said to them, they won't listen to it. They'll be like, whatever. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Like I don't really,
I used to laugh at them at one point, but my sister told me, "Hey, cut that out."
I don't really care about what happened to hoes like these. When I say where the hoes at, I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about women like her.
No. Oh, I know what you mean when you say that.
Good, clear-minded, conscious hoes.
If
I ask where the hoes at and they take me to Azealia Banks, I'm gonna have to check that. I'm like, hey man, why the hell you bring me over to her? This ain't the hoes that I'm looking for. I'm looking for quality hoes.
Exactly.
This bitch a lapdog. That ain't a hoe. That's a female hoe. That's a female dog. That's a bitch right there.
Yeah, the lapdog.
That's a degenerate.
But yeah, man, it's like you just have to I was always afraid to be around women like that. That's anti-black. That's just say a little crazy rhetoric. It's kind of like you don't know what they're gonna do next. So I'm like, hey man, I'm ready to get up out of here. I started getting real nervous when I hear women talking like that. I was like, I'm out of here, buddy. I'm not trying to talk anybody into my way of thinking at all. I'm just getting away from you.
Yeah, there's no, you can't sit down and talk some sense to that. It's
No, it's
they
not gonna
they
work.
want they want to, because like Azealia Banks. I remember a couple years ago, she was like, she was acting like she was a spokesperson for
Oh yeah,
the spokeswoman for black women. She was talking, you know, speaking up for like black women's rights and how it's fucked up how black women are treated, how they're portrayed in the media. She was talking about
yeah,
history. She was talking about, you know, like she, like every once in a while she'll speak some real shit. Like what she said about Cardi B, I agree with. All right,
yeah. What did she
but
say with Cardi B?
she was talking about, look, you're using the N word. You're not black. You know, you were promoted as this Latina chick, and you know you're illiterate. You know, and so, you know, a black
Yeah,
woman who acted just like her wouldn't get the fame and the attention that she'd be getting. Like a
yeah.
black.
That's good.
So I did agree with her on that, but I remember years ago she was talking like that, real conscious. But that goes back to what I said earlier. These women, they flip flop because
Yeah,
they get their wake up call so many times for kissing up to Caucasian folks, because you know they're trying to worship them and appease to them and do all that they can to be on their team, but it keeps backfiring on them. They keep
yeah.
getting mistreated. So then it's like you purposely are, you're forced to become conscious. You know, and
Oh yeah,
it's that it's
yeah,
that it's that delusion of grandeur, but you know, at the same time, this is what the media. I mean, part of it's the media. It definitely is the
yeah,
media, because they don't see themselves as beautiful or cute in the mainstream. What people tell them is like, okay, your hair, it's gotta go. You get, no, that shit, that whole Afro shit, nah, the braids, nah, you ain't getting this job if you look like that. Your skin,
yeah.
ugh, nah, I don't want to see a twerk video by you. Fuck out of here. Oh, so they see that shit,
Magazines.
right? So I get it. I
Yeah,
mean, to a certain degree, I get it, but you know, what does that have to do with you shitting on another man that looks like you? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is since they don't see themselves as beauty, it's like, okay, I don't want the way I feel. I don't want my child feeling that way. If I have a daughter, I don't want her to have to go through or feel the way I feel. And there's some people out there that they project all this confidence, this false sense of confidence. Oh, I'm confident, this, that, and the third. You're not confident if you wear somebody else's hair on your head. You're not
yeah,
confident if you wear a hair hat that's blonde and you got blue eye contacts.
yeah, yeah. All kind of, like a lot of plastic surgery, all that stuff going on. A lot of times, the guys that the reason, a lot of times they can't get the guy that they want, so that has a lot to do with it too. So they'll be like, I can't get the guy that I want. These guys don't want to be with me, and the guys that she wants to get with, she's looking at them on television in most cases. So a lot of times there's a lot of you know jealousy and envy and that bitterness. A lot of a lot of women, they don't like rejection. They can't take that. So that's where a lot of that comes from, man. Some women they'd be like, they just can't take it. They'd be like, oh, why they don't want to be with me? you know. So see, but the thing is, the mistake that a lot of women make, you gotta rock with the guys that want to rock with you. They trying to go after the guys that don't want to be with them.
Right.
See, my philosophy is I rock with those that rock with me, but the women I just happen to be attracted to them, and it's all good,
Right. Because you see, like, and they think, and here, going back to my original point, like, Azealia Banks, she was acting like she was real conscious years ago, spitting all this shit, but then she goes over and she gets her skin lightened. And then she denied it at first. People called out like, "Hey, why does this chick's skin look a little bit lighter? She got a skin lightening treatment." She's like, "I didn't get my shit lightened." Then the company that did it for her came out and was like, "Yes, we did. We have your paperwork right here." So then she got on video with some goofy ass helmet. I guess she was riding a bike or whatever, and started talking about it. So it's like you're not really as confident as you act like you are. I mean, and I'm glad that she's as open as she is right now, even though she is a walking time bomb, because deep down inside, this is what a lot of black women go through. She is the voice for a lot of black women that don't really have it in them to really speak out how they really feel.
Yeah,
It's how they really feel on the inside, because that's very telling. And
yeah.
some people feel like, oh, because if you're lighter, things will get better. Let me tell you, I lived in
No.
Canada. I lived in Canada where black women don't even like you. Rarely will you see a black couple up there, because a lot of black women over there, they openly say that they don't want black men over there. So there's a lot of quote
Really?
unquote.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of quote unquote biracial kids or biracial people up there. And the
Wow.
women, when you talk to some of those biracial women, they
Uh-huh.
they talk, they sound just like Azealia Banks. They like they
Wow.
they they talk just like her. Like, no, I'm not one of you. I'm not black. I am half white. So no, we're not. I don't really kick it with some of you dusty Negroes over there. So it's like, because she feels like, I'm not fully black. I'm not one of you. And even if she was, she'd still be talking like some of those quote unquote biracial women, how they talk up there. And on top of that, it's like she doesn't feel like she's better or she's happy with herself because she's biracial or she's of lighter complexion. Because that's a hindrance to her. Being quote unquote biracial or light skinned, that's kind of holding her back. Some of those women up there in Canada, and some of those women all around the world, they feel like, damn, because if it wasn't for my father, I wouldn't have to go through this shit. Because those they like to keep, some folks in certain societies, they like to keep those light skinned kids away, because it's like, no, you gonna sneak
Yeah, they do.
some of those genes up in here. No.
Yeah.
So, like, and you speak to some of those women up there, you're like, how many times has somebody called you the N word? I mean, it's countless times they've been called the N word. It's like, well, why don't you go where you're accepted, which is your own people that, people of the sun, melanoid people. What's wrong with being
Yeah.
around those people? It's just, she doesn't think, it's like you look at the situation that black folks are in, and you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be part of that struggle. And it's like, you're a part of that struggle whether you like it or not. You
Exactly.
know.
Just because you got a couple extra coins in your bank account, or maybe you live on the other side of the neighborhood, or maybe you live out by yourself, that doesn't mean really anything.
Right.
Really?
And let's keep it real. There's a lot of what makes it even worse. And we got to talk about this too. What makes it even worse, there's a lot of light skinned people who brag about being light skinned.
Oh yeah, I know some.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know some. I went to school with a couple of them, and there's some on my friends list on Facebook. Yeah,
Mm.
they'll be like, and then they'll get married to a guy that's darker than them. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is the same person that had a problem with me being darker, and she's gonna get married to a guy that's darker than me. I'm like, okay, whatever. You just talk, you know.
Right. Because, opposites attract, and,
That's what they.
and
Yeah.
opposites attract. And most light skinned black women, they don't like light skinned black men. A lot of them. I won't say All of them,
Yeah,
but a
a lot of
lot
them
of them
don't.
they're like I don't like light skinned black dudes. They
Yeah.
like dark. So it's like are we gonna shame light skinned black women for liking dark skinned black men? That's why that whole
No.
thing is silly. People really feel that way, but you know that didn't stop. Even though Azealia Banks feels that way, the way she does, which she feels like okay, I'd rather stick with my white men and you jigaboos and you darkies or whatever. Even though she's a
Yeah.
dark skinned woman herself, she still brought it to herself to actually go on the Wild and Out show. She still brought
Yeah.
it to herself to go to the the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People out here, it's like if you're a dark skinned Asian person, you can't. A lot of these light light white skinned Asians, it's like to them, it's like no, you can't sit around here. You can't work here, or if you work
Yeah.
here, you
They.
you you, you scrubbing toilets,
Yeah. They take it to the next level.
right?
And our country, boy. I'm telling you, that's cold. And you have people that's in their personal life will tell them the same thing. I'm like, that's cold. See, I think whenever family members uh disrespect kids or just because they now that fully whatever nationality they claim to be, that's cold. And that's cold, but that's just my way of thinking, that's how. See, I was raised like I didn't run into this colorism thing until I left home, because
Mm,
my family, they didn't play that nonsense. They didn't play you dark or you light. They were like, get it, we don't play around like that. I ran into that when I went to college. That's when I started running into like black people, the classism thing. I'm from New York City. I'm from Boston. People say, "Hey, I grew up like this. I got a BMW that my parents bought me, and I drove it up here. All I got to do is just get good grades, and I'm good to go, whatever." And then they'll say, "Hey, where you from?" I'm saying, "Yeah, I'm from South Carolina, right? Probably like 2 hours away." They're like, "Oh, okay." So one guy said, "Hey," he said I'm Sigma or Q Dog. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that's when I kind of ran into that the colorism, classism thing or whatever. But before I went to college, I didn't experience none of that. I didn't know what they was talking about. I'm like, what? They was
right.
acting like they were somehow better than me in some type of way, and I really didn't understand why. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
just because you got a couple more dollars, or your parents make more money than mine, and you live on the other side of town or away from most black folks, that doesn't mean anything. It's people that's making millions of dollars back then and even to this day that's black, and they still can't buy stuff that they want.
Right. Right.
So it doesn't really mean anything.
And that's interesting that you said that because when I was growing up, that whole colorism thing never really crossed my mind. Like when you kids, I mean, all right, I did know what racism was at a young age because,
Yeah,
I grew up in a mixed neighborhood. It was blacks,
yeah,
whites, Latinos. You know, everybody was in that neighborhood with me. So we know like okay, racism, whatever. But amongst black folks in general, I never heard
yeah.
of a I never heard of a light skinned joke
Me
or
either.
anything like that. I never heard somebody say, "Oh, you dark skin," or I never heard that growing up. And the only thing that I saw was there was one guy at my school. Like he was his mother was white, his father was black, but He never met his father before, and somebody at those times, like it wasn't cool to say that you're half white. I noticed that.
No,
It
no,
was
it
like
wasn't.
late '90s, early 2000s. Even people who are like Mexican, you know, where I was from, people who are Mexican and their father was white. To them, they're like, "Nah, don't say I'm half white or I'm Mexican." You know,
Yeah,
so he never claimed to be like, even he knew he was half white, but he was like, no, I'm not white, I'm black. All right, so and the
yeah,
only thing that I saw was women. They never said anything about his skin tone, but there was a lot of black women chasing after him at the school. But he was very popular also. You dig what I'm
yeah.
saying? So were they chasing after him because he was light skinned, or were they chasing after him because he was popular? It was both. But growing up,
Probably both. Yeah,
both. But yeah, you know, it was both. But growing up, I never, I never heard anybody judging each other based off of color. It wasn't really until the social media shit popped
on
off.
social media. Okay.
Yeah, and then you really see how stupid a lot of humans are when you read some of the
Yeah,
comments in the comments section. Like,
yeah.
goddamn,
It's
I didn't know people were this dumb until I got on social media.
yeah. Social media just expose people for who they really were, who they really are, really. You know, and but my first experience is when I went to college, man. And you know, these frats, they kind of hard on the colorism thing. You get the AKAs, you got the Jack and Jills, and these other so-called secretive groups. You know, they hard on that colorism thing. That's when I had my first experience. And first, I was like, "What's the big deal?"
The paper
I
bag
mean,
test.
so I was. That's why I never pledged anything. That's why I never got involved in any frats. Because I'm like, why do I have to be a part of a group to socialize with y'all? Forget that.
Yeah.
So I was on the campus. I'm rolling solo on campus. You know.
But
So
you
that
know, like you know, times were a lot different from how our mother and father was raised because,
yeah
um, you know, I know what we're talking about is very deep, but I've mentioned it several times on the channel that, you know, my father, you know, his father was white. I only met him twice in
yeah
his life. So, and my dad, he has other siblings that are darker. Because, you know, mother had kids by another a real dark skinned man. So he sit out on the
okay
porch in New York City. You know, this was like in the 50s. And, you know, white people are
okay
passing by, like, you know, thinking that he was white. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing hanging around with these Negroes over here? Why don't you go back home in your white suburbs? What are you doing over here? He was like, these are my brothers and sisters. So when you're a kid and you've been raised like that, you know, and then you get sent up north, you know, it's like that traumatizes you. You know, so you just deal with chaos through your whole life. And then my mother, this is why I did a whole show talking about Afro Latinos and Afro Latinas. So my mother, you know, she was a black woman raised in Panama.
yeah
And a lot of people who come from like Africa or the Caribbean islands and South America, when they come over to America, it's like they got their nose tooted up, you know, around African Americans, thinking, okay, I'm better because you don't know where you're from, even though okay, you know you know where you're from, you're American, but it's like you don't know where your family comes from. You don't know what part of Africa you come from. And the thing is, you know, I told my mother because I mentioned this. I'm like, you know, a lot of you know Caribbeans and South Americans, these Panamanians, you know, they think they're better than Americans. And she was like, yeah,
yeah
that's
I
true.
don't like that.
But it's
Yeah
like you don't know what part of Africa you come from. You just you know you come from Panama, but you weren't, you know, Black people are
Right.
indigenous to countries all over the world. You know, every
Yeah.
black person just doesn't come from Africa. You dig what I'm saying? Our lineage comes from Africa, true,
Yeah.
but dark skin, like this whole light skin shit, didn't come around till this is really recent. You know what I'm saying? Like Latinos and all that,
Yeah.
Hispanics. That's a term that was created in the '70s. You dig what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah. Them those titles, Hispanic or Latino. Yeah, that I heard. I started hearing that in like the '90s and early
Right.
2000s.
It was
Yeah,
actually created by the government in the '70s. But it's like when these other communities, let's take a look at some people in the Asian communities. They always like to tell people that don't know no better, that don't fucking read, that don't do the research, like, nah, what do you mean? Like, you know, we want to be white. We don't want to be white because we want to be Caucasian. We've been wanting to be white for thousands of years. Okay, show me the literature. Where's the literature? Where is the narrative that somebody wrote
ain't
years
none.
ago saying that they wanted to be white? Because I'm like, I have pictures of Japanese people. I have pictures of Chinese people. I have pictures of Thai people from the early 1900s. You guys are just as dark as us. So
Yeah,
what do you mean? You didn't want to be white until you came in
yeah,
contact with a
yeah.
different race of people.
They'll say anything to get benefits or to make it look cute. Really, they
Yeah.
don't have them. They're just doing a bunch of talking. Really, I don't really. I've had plenty of discussions with various groups of people: Koreans, Japanese, you know, Thai, Indians. They just be talking most of the time. But like when they come over here, you know, they think they're better than us. They think like they know the secret or something. Like I'm like, hey, I've been here almost all my life. This is not you can tell me that that I'm gonna be blown away by. You know, I've been over here too long. So, but they think they're better because of I don't know why they think they're better. To be honest, it doesn't make any sense. If you
I
talk to them,
guess
it's like if you talk to them, they can't really give you a I don't know, can't really give you an answer. I think they think they're better because they get to work at the corporate job or something like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. You know, but you know, they think they at times if let's say you work with somebody from Japan or Korea or India, they'll think if you're working together, you know, they have this tension. It's you can feel it. You know, it's like if you say something, they'll be like they gotta question everything. You sure about that? I'm like, yeah, I think so. You know. If the white guy come in there, a white woman say the same thing. Oh yeah, oh thank you.
yeah,
I'm
they
like,
don't even have to say the same thing. They could tell a bold faced lie and then be like, oh okay, yeah, I believe you.
yeah, yeah. So they don't think they know everything. They just think they know more than us, you know.
Yeah.
But but they don't have any proof of that though. So I asked one girl. I said, okay, if you think you're smarter than me or you're better than me, where's your proof? Where's that? I don't see one. Just like I told one girl, I said, okay, if you think you're a hell of a woman, you think you're the shit, you think you're a quality woman, why come your phone ain't ringing? Where these guys at? Where they at? I said, hey, my phone ring all the time. and I never said I was a good guy. I only said I'm a man. That's it. I never said I was a good guy. I never said I was an exceptional guy. I never said anything. I said I'm a man. I'm trying to be a man 24/7. That's it. I let other women be the judge of the type of guy that I am. That's their opinion. And the opinion is going to be slightly different from woman to woman, of course. But she's bragging about how wonderful she is, and the quality of guys is not good around here. I said, hey, it could be you. You
Right,
know?
right. You know, some of these women they'll brag about how how white their skin is and how you're black and you're nobody, you're broke, you're poor, and it's kind of
Yeah,
like it's like hold on now, it's like
you're going too far
like
now.
it's like I'm if we talking about financial wise, it's like I'm if we're going by that logic, then all of you guys should be riding around in helicopters and driving up in Lamborghinis. If we're going by your logic, I'm out here and
Yeah,
the majority of people out here can't rub two nickels together. What are you talking about? People are living below
yeah,
the poverty line out here. So it's like, according to your logic, how come like black people shouldn't even be in any Asian country for that matter?
exactly.
We
And
we
then
wouldn't
I'd
be
be
able
like,
to afford the plane ticket.
exactly. So I always say, I say, okay. I said, you got a job, right? I said, yeah. I said, okay. What would happen if you lose your job? How long can you go without money? What would you do? I said, I know what I would do. Same thing I'm doing right now. I said, I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and I never depended on one income. I never wanted to put my livelihood in somebody else, a corporation or a job or whatever. So I said, what would you do? She said, I don't know. Well, I said, you don't got no friends. I said, ain't nobody to look out for you. Who got your back? You got nobody. She got nobody. So I'm like, you're not that good. You really ain't got it like that.
Right. Your
So that was
phone
the
ain't
point I was trying to
ringing.
make. Your phone
Your
ain't
phone.
ringing.
Yeah, like that one video we did. That one Korean woman. She got that big family size wraparound couch at home in her 40s,
Lonely.
lonely, no kids, drinking a fucking soda pop, watching some bullshit sitcom on TV. Nothing talking about this is the life that I chose. No,
No, you
like
didn't.
yo, your attitude didn't work for you, and your skin didn't work for you. Because according to your logic, men all around the world in droves should be groveling at your feet, at your doorstep. But you at
Yeah.
home
See,
with with no incoming phone calls.
yeah. See, a lot of these women think that if they look good and play the part, that's all it takes. No, this ain't 1960s no more, in the 70s and 80s. That's over. I mean, there's a bunch of women out here that look good at sevens and eights and nines. But I mean, this is why a lot of guys come and leave, because I said, hey, maybe it wasn't anything to stay for. You know? I'm just saying. Then they'd be like, well, you might have a point. I said, look, if you're in the 40s and you've been by yourself for a long time, so obviously whatever you're doing ain't working. You know?
Right, right, and a lot of self-hating. Um, I say black men and women, that hate themselves for the color of the skin that they're in. They think by going over into another community, they're going to be accepted. The grass is going to be greener, and it's going to
Please.
be much different over there. And it's not,
No.
because we just talked about Azealia Banks. Do you know, like, as much as this woman has shitted on black men, called black people jigaboos and darkies, and she got lights, she got her skin lightened a little bit, and bragging about getting white dick. Do you know, as much crazy shit as she been talking about, if she squared up the next day, brothers would be lined up to try to get with her.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, because
Yeah.
we have no standards, but that's just how quote unquote, forgiving we are, how much we're
Yeah.
not on code. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She can do that. That woman that we talked about with that big wraparound couch, she can't do that in her community.
Nope.
There's no
Because
woman, a black woman single, a black woman could get out of a relationship in her 70s and still find a brother the next day who's thirsty. It don't matter how
yeah.
light or how dark you are.
Well, that has a lot to do with living in America too. This is the only, well, almost the only country.
Nah,
It has a lot to do with being in
because
America.
nah, single women like to a certain degree. To a certain degree, if a if
Yeah.
a if a if a black woman in Africa, if she squares up and she don't have kids, she can find that man. She can find that man. There's some rules, the
Uh,
village or whatever. But a black
yeah.
woman, yeah.
I don't know. It depends, man. Depends on what country you're talking about.
Well, give me an example.
Like Nigeria, they don't really, and Sudan, they don't really play that out there like that. They'd be like, hey man, if she got 2 kids, they'd be like, hey man, you can do better than that.
Well, no, I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about a
Just a woman that's
self-hating,
Just a woman that's talking reckless.
yeah, self-hating Bedouin. I'm talking about if Azealia Banks was in Nigeria, and then she was
Oh,
campaigning for white penis the whole time, and then one day she squared up like, "Hey, I'm not like that.
uh,
I like brothers now." Some
she,
Nigerian brother
she,
would get with her.
yeah, he had to be a coon. Yeah, he had to be a coon. He had to be a coon.
But
Yeah.
but 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 that's my whole point. Like nobody in Asia is cool enough to get with a leftover in their own community. You see what I'm
Nah, they
saying?
don't.
Even
Nah.
if she was young and she was like, man, let's say Chinese, oh man, fuck these Chinese men, blah blah blah. I ain't getting with these Chinese men, fuck them, they ain't shit, blah 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 blah. I want white dudes. I like white men, white men, white men, white men, white men, white men, white men. And then once she was done doing that, and she was like, okay, I'm not, white men, they shitted on me. I want to go back I want to start all over and get me a nice Chinese guy. That'll never happen.
Yeah, it almost
It'll
never.
never happen.
Unless the only way I can see that happening is if she live in a big city with no kids, uh, and nobody knew who she was, and this guy had to be older, like an older guy. Like let's say she 45, he had to be about 60. Because if you're 60, 45, that's a younger girl. Kind of. 40, 45, that's pretty good age. If I'm 62, I'm like, hey, I'll take a 40-year-old chick. 45.
Right. And that's an extreme example right there, where it's like,
But I've seen it.
like, yeah. But see, you're talking about, man, she would have to be in a big city, and he
Yeah.
would have to be older, and nobody
Yeah.
would know them. See, like amongst us black folks, and like you said in America, hell, she could be in the same neighborhood talking that shit, and then one day, hey, I'm a changed woman, and she'll still get with
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
from
yeah,
that
exactly.
neighborhood after she.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. That would happen. It'll go down like that. It's, unfortunate, but it's true.
There's a lot of men who aren't. Yeah, I see a lot of dark skinned brothers. Some of them are confident because, they still get shine in the media.
Like who?
Who was this guy? Luke Cage, the star Luke Cage. That's a
Oh,
dark skinned brother. He getting
yeah,
shine. Wesley Snipes. He was the shit for a minute, all throughout the '80s. I mean, I guess
yeah,
if
yeah.
we're talking about today, Bobby Shmurda, he was the shit a couple years ago before he went to jail.
I mean,
You got Offset from the Migos. You got 50
Offset.
Cent,
Yeah.
Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
Rick Ross, Black Youngster. I mean, damn, the
Yeah.
list goes on and on. So the people who are actually getting shine in the media are dark skinned brothers. P Diddy,
Yeah. Yeah.
the best rapper people say of all time
Who?
was Biggie Smalls. You know, a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
say he's
Yeah.
one of the great. He's one of the greatest. That was
Yeah.
a real dark skinned brother. So it's like, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, you kind of faded out there for a second. But so when I hear people like Wale say that
Wale.
his lack of success is due to him being dark skinned, and that is the anchor
Wale
that's
said that?
holding. Yeah, he said that on the Breakfast Club like 2 months ago. Yeah,
Well, what do
that's
you
the
want to do?
anchor. And this goes back to what you said earlier because I feel the same way. Wale's music is garbage.
It's not. It's not good enough. That's what I don't think.
I mean, I've never
He kind of.
heard anybody say a Wale rhyme quotable.
He's. It's not. It's the production. See, because he had a good start, but he kind of 2 albums ago he kind of went backwards. So I don't know what happened. Maybe he was experimenting or whatever. But it's just not good enough. You know. I mean, he signed with Rick. He signed with Rick Ross. I think. Rick doing the best he can do. It ain't but so much he can do. You know, as far as promotion wise, if the product, you can have a good product and have good marketing. I mean, no, I'll say that over again. You can have, if you got a bad product but good marketing, and you know, even though people, you might get the product in their hands, but when they listen to it, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, this ain't that good, man." So, you know, I like Wale, but I just think you just gotta work on his songs. It's the production. That's the problem.
I don't even know what he's complaining about because.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
He like
besides music?
People's. I think what Wale, the product that Wale puts out, I think that best fits his level of success as right now. I'm like, I don't know, like, what do you expect to be? He just put out a music video like about a month or 2 ago. That shit's at like 1.3 million views right now. There are people in this game who can't even get 500. Yeah, there's a lot of people who can't get 500,000 views. This man, I went to his Twitter page. This guy has he has 5.6 million followers on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck? For the music, for the product that you put out, I mean, that's over exceeding my expectations as to how popular you are.
I mean,
for the product. You ain't put out no hot shit like that.
No, he ain't. That's what I'm saying. The music is just not that good. You know, he got a lot of support, no doubt about it. But you just got to work on the quality of music. Him and, you know, he remind me of Sierra. Sierra have good songs, but when the music drop, it just doesn't sell. He might do 100,000 copies or 200,000 at best. When she do shows, they'll show up at the show, but they ain't gonna buy the album. I just, you know, I don't know. You know, people just don't connect to the music. You know, there's a missing element in the music, in both of them. You know, now you hear the song she got Level Up that she got on Instagram. I heard yesterday. It's a good song. You know, but is it gonna sell when it comes out? I don't know. You know, and I think that's the same problem Wale has. You know,
see, the thing about Wale, man, is like there's validity in what he said. I'm not gonna sit here and say that's 100% false what he's saying. There's validity in what he's saying. Sure, is his face gonna sell all over the world? No, absolutely not.
No,
like, you can't market his face. You can't market his face in Asia. Everybody's gonna say hell no out here. Unfortunately, you can't be international. That's why they have the Drakes. Okay, yes, but you're not making Drake level music.
Exactly.
Drake has rhyme quotables that everybody knows. Everybody knows a Drake rhyme.
Yeah,
Everybody knows a Drake rhyme or Drake song. You know,
exactly.
and you can market somebody's face like that. Then when you want the money, okay, okay, when it comes to marketing dollars and marketing somebody's face, like race does come into play, or the pigment,
Oh yeah, no
the
doubt
hue
about
of
it.
your pigmentation come into play. But that doesn't mean that you're not successful. I wish I
Oh no,
had Wale's level of success.
me too.
I'm a,
I wish I had
I'm
them
like,
dollars. I wish I
I'm
had
like,
them dollars.
I'm like, what the hell do you want? I mean, the man, like, nobody, no, you can't understand what he's saying. He be mumbling. You know, I'm like,
Yeah, see,
open
that's
your
another
mouth when
thing.
you rap.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. If you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. See, if you don't have the marketing dollars, which he does, but that just let's assume he didn't have it. Let's say he didn't have all the support that he needed. Now, if that's the case, if that was the case, he would have to really work on his rhymes then, because you don't have that push. You know what I'm saying? But if you got the push, but the product ain't that good, well, that's your fault. I
And
mean,
I don't. And to be honest, I don't think he has.
or maybe he's doing the best he can. I don't know.
I don't think he has that
I don't know.
that level of push. I don't think he has that level because he's burned so many bridges. You see what I'm saying? See, when you're an artist and you feel like, okay, I'm putting out the coldest, I've worked this hard, and I think he thinks the same way as an Azealia Banks. It's just my dark skin. If I wasn't so dark,
Well, he's,
I wouldn't have
well,
this
he,
issue.
well, yeah, he's insecure.
Right. I mean,
About
and he
that.
let that be. He let that be known. See, when he used to call up at Complex and shit like that, spazzing out on people, he spazzed out on a lot of people.
Oh, really? I didn't
Nobody.
know that.
Oh yeah. I mean, he
I didn't know
spazzed
that.
out on a lot of people. Nobody wants to deal with you.
Yeah,
Nobody
can't do
wants.
that.
Um, like you're yelling at me off of my money that I'm putting up for you because you don't have the money to do it for yourself. So you need me. You need me to market you and to promote you and
Yeah,
to book different events for you. And you're
yeah,
screaming off on me because I'm not handling it. Well, I'm trying to do the best I can, but your music doesn't. His music doesn't really connect with. But I mean, it connects with somebody.
yeah. Some
But
people.
I
Yeah,
think that's what he was spazzing out this whole time. Deep down inside is like, okay, I'm a dark skinned black man who really feels like I'm putting the best quality music over everybody and I'm not getting the recognition for it because I'm dark. So it's like I'm gonna spaz out on this person for not respecting my craft. And it's like, dude, sometimes like motherfucker, your music don't connect with people.
just focus on your rhymes, man. That's what you need to do, man. If it's like I mean, when it comes to the best MCs, you got Nas. You can it's a catalog of songs. You can think of like some stuff Nas said. You might not remember what he said exactly, but when you heard it, you'd be like, "Get I like that." You know,
Right.
stuff that Biggie said, stuff that Pac said, stuff that J. Cole said. I mean, because the rhymes, stuff that even Rakim got a new song out. But
Right.
people hear it be like, oh, it's good. I like it because of the rhymes, man. So that's what he needs to focus on. But I don't.
Rakim was dope. Rakim, like I used to listen to a lot of Rakim music. Like I still have
Yeah,
an ear to listen to old school hip hop. And dark skinned brother himself, KRS One, Big Daddy
yeah,
Kane.
yeah.
These were dark skinned
They
brothers
still
that
they still out here on getting on stage.
getting on stage. And there's new upcoming cats that so this whole thing about I'm not respected because I'm dark. Sure, absolutely. Sure. Are you gonna get the same level of views as
Drake,
a Taylor
probably
as a
not.
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift,
No,
probably not.
hell no. She's
But
getting
but but
billion views, but
but you
the
still
thing,
gonna get yours. If you got rhymes, you still gonna get yours, regardless.
you still gonna get yours. Some people aren't complaining because I ain't never heard P Diddy complain about his skin color or whatever. It's like a lot of men don't really have that issue because I guess because we can take care of ourselves at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Yeah, and
saying?
I
We can
think
we can we can handle ourselves. You see,
yeah, and
women they
plus
come over here. Women they come over here. You know, just they come over here out of spite. You see, they date out of spite, and then
yeah,
they travel out of spite. Some men do the
exactly.
same thing too. Some men travel out of spite. Then you
Yeah,
come over here and you find out how real it really is over here. You got goddamn like. You know, I can't
yeah,
manipulate these men like these, you know, these
yeah,
squares over in America do.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And I'm glad you brought that up because like I had a guy ask me the other day, if I ever dated other women except for black women. I said yeah, and then he said, why did I do it? I said, well, at the time, man, my money was low. I wasn't ranked high when I went in the Navy. So I was broke. So that was my motivation. I was in a bad situation at the time. So that I started talking to Japanese women when I was in Japan and other groups of women over there too because my money was low. I got tired of staying on the ship. I got tired of staying in the hotels on the base. That's why I started talking to other groups of women. It ain't had nothing to do with, I don't got no sob story talking about black women this did me wrong. No, I don't got one of those stories. There's a lot of people online that talk about all the bad situations they done been in with black women. I said, I ain't one of those guys. I can't really relate to that.
right.
Really?
And I mean, you know, we all have stories of women doing us dirty. It doesn't matter what race they are. Like, I mean, I've dated. I've pretty much been with all races of women under the sun, and I'm here to tell y'all, it's the grass isn't greener on the other side. You
Oh
know,
no.
sure, some men might look at a woman and be like, well, I feel like I could be myself more, you know, when I'm with another woman because, you know, and that's usually coming from nerds. You know what I'm saying? It's some of these nerds over here. I'm not talking about smart nerds. I'm talking about you dumb fucking nerds over there that just have no use of life at all. Like you don't hear yourselves when you talk. A lot of you motherfuckers, you stay ashy. You know, you don't get a haircut. You don't brush your teeth. You know, you don't care about your appearance. You don't care about yourselves at all. You know, your conversations is out of this planet. Like nobody can follow what you're saying. You know, socially awkward. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
Exactly.
those are really the men that complain about black women. Are the
Yeah.
socially awkward, weird motherfuckers that are out here in the game. And they're like, okay, I want to be weird over here in Asia. And those women, they're like,
Oh.
I don't want black weird. I want white weird.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing you're doing.
Yep. Basically, I've heard guys say stuff like, women said something like, "You're the whitest black guy I've ever met." I said, "Oh, a woman said that to you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, you took that as a compliment or what?" He said, "Well, he didn't know how to take it." I said, "Oh, okay." So I say weird stuff like that. I heard guys say weird stuff like that. And like a lot of guys, like this goes back to rhymes, and then you focus more on their conversation, what they saying, how they
Exactly.
say it. Now there's always exception to the rule. Now, if you go to the parts of Asia, none of that shit gonna work.
Right.
Most of that shit ain't gonna work. But you can still, you're gonna have to work some of that thing out. Because the programming is strong over there, boy.
Yeah, the program is real strong, and
Ooh-wee.
it's hard. It's hard on a black woman over in Asia. You see black
Oh
women.
man,
I mean, their
I
wig
don't.
is dried out. They stressed out. You know,
I,
they can't even get these men out here to stay the full the full night, the entire night. They can't even get the men to stay the entire night. They get men.
Nope.
They come over, they fuck, and they go like, hey, I got work in the morning. Oh, you got work. Like, you just gonna
Yeah, you fucking leave. Damn.
Yeah.
I told it was I met a black woman a couple months ago, and she asked me. She actually left me a message on Facebook. She said she was thinking about going to Japan and teach English. She was saying, what do I recommend?" And I said, "Hey, don't go over there." And she said, "Why not?" I said, number one, you ain't gonna have no social life. You can forget about that. That's the first thing. And I asked her how much you gonna be getting paid. She said about 3,000. I said, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. No, you might as well stay over here and work that thing out.
How much was she getting at her current job?
About the same.
She was doing well at her current job?
Yeah, it's about the same. I think about the same.
Some of these women, some of these black women is like, you don't like, there's a lot of smart brothers in America. There's a lot of educated, smart, well-to-do brothers in America. And a lot of times I don't see too many women, too many sisters getting with, like, you and I, we know some of these brothers. We know the educated brothers who are at least trying.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? A lot of these women act like they don't even exist. And you want to come over here to be with the nerds of somebody in another community who has a strong code. I mean, that shit is osmosis. That code, that program is osmosis. That shit ain't something they watch on TV. They fuck the TV. They don't need the TV.
Nope.
They're gonna be a part of that program when they're born.
What's embedded in them like a chip, boy.
Exactly. So these black women who think like Azealia Banks, and I've seen most of them, they come over here, a brother says hello to them, good morning, how you doing? All they do is smack their teeth. They don't even get a word. They get a teeth smack.
Yeah, I ran into that a couple times over there. I don't really know what's that about, but I just kept moving, Right.
Because they think this, they think the same way. It's like they hate themselves. They done been ran through. They probably never gave a brother a chance. They've been ran through by Caucasian men over in America. That shit didn't work out. They probably were ran through by Latinos over in America. That didn't work out. So they come over to Asia like, no, I'm coming over here for the culture. No, you trying to come over here because you want you want the K-pop dude. You want that pink hair. Them K-pop dudes who looking the birdcage chest dancing. You know what I'm saying? They come over here they come all the way over here to get with the men, because if it was for the culture, which whatever, but a lot of them they don't last. They don't make it to 6 months over here.
Most sisters, they don't.
They get a real wake up call out here. You're like, you know what? Let me just bite down and do what Sierra did and get me a lane. Give me just a square dude.
Yeah, and I don't know why people are so fascinated by other people's culture like that. I mean, I can see if you eat the food or you hang out with other people from different cultures, but I'm not putting on your cultural accessories. I'm not putting on, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
What you gonna get over in Asia that you can't get in America? Okay, the food. You can get Korean food, Japanese food in America. Hell, it tastes better in America.
Yeah, I actually, what's funny? I tend to get along. I believe you can get along better with people when they're away from their country. More than, because I've been to Australia. I met Japanese people in Australia. Chinese people in Australia, and they're very relaxed, you know, and they seem to be very. When I meet a Japanese person in Japan, it's a different vibe. I mean, a Japanese person in Australia, it's a very different. They got an accent. I'm like, whoa, you know. And in America, you don't know what you're gonna get in America. They're pretty wide open. It could be, it's extreme. It could be cool, or it could be wide open. You know, but it seemed to be very. From people, especially, I think Koreans are probably the most relaxed in America, away from Korea. You know, I think so, because it's like it's just a different vibe. You know, you can talk to them. You know, and in Korea, it's like, you don't know how that's gonna go. That's based on my experience, but I never had a good experience in being in Korea, visiting at all.
Yeah,
At
like
all.
the first two visits, you could tell like it was because my homie was telling me like, nah, they're not really foreigner friendly over there. But the last visit I went to was totally different. People were like extremely nice towards me. I was like, okay. And then a guy, a subscriber on my channel, was a black dude. He lives over in Korea. He was telling me like, nah, yeah, it's changing over here.
Yeah, it's
So I
changed a
was
lot.
like, yeah. So I was shocked at my last visit to Korea.
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember
like,
you.
damn.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But you know, I told I was talking to Lily, right?
Oh.
And I
I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at that woman she was interviewing.
oh yeah, that lady's crazy, man. But Lily's crazy too, but she's in a good way. But I told her, I said, hey, the next time I go back to Korea, I'll go with you because I didn't have a good experience. And she was like, oh yeah, oh, okay, I understand. You
Hell,
know,
she ain't gonna
because
have a good experience neither.
I don't know, man. I'll take my chances with her.
They see her with you and James and the kids. They be like, oh hell no, what's like, get the fuck out of my store. I ain't talking to you.
I hope not.
They gonna stress that woman out, have her sitting on a big wraparound couch, drinking a soda pop out of a glass jar, watching TV,
Hey, man.
doing
You know what they say?
specials.
You know what they say, man? It's easier to roll with a team. I don't know.
No, they see her with you. They like, hold on, blink twice if you need help. Are you okay? Did these men here seduce you? Did they seduce you?
Hey, man.
One guy asked you how do you seduce women? You see
Yo,
that?
yeah, a guy asked me, hey, how do you seduce women in Japan? I'm like, I don't know if that's possible. You know, I don't think you can go over there with that type of mindset, brother. You know.
And guys like him swear up and down it's black women that's the problem. That oh no, it's just how they are. No man, when you ask stupid questions like that, what other dumbass questions are you asking? That's
Yeah,
why you don't get along with black women, is because you asking stupid ass, how do I seduce women?
yeah, that's.
Man, you sound like a Yu-Gi-Oh card master.
And those are the guys that the socially awkward, nerdy type guys. They ask questions like that. You know, how do I
Yeah.
seduce? And they ask this question a lot too. How do I get a girlfriend?
You
Oh
open your
boy,
mouth. You open your mouth and you speak to women.
I
Like,
get that. I get that question a lot too. How do you get a girlfriend? So what I do now, I just send them a link. I say, hey, go buy my book. That's how it'll teach you everything you need to know. Yeah, because it's not like one thing I can tell you. Come on, it doesn't work like that. You know.
bro, some of these guys, like when they ask you questions like, man, black women and that what's it like in Asia? I'm like, you got a social media page? And they were like, yeah, this is my Instagram right here. I look on their page, man. It's like, bro, you don't even look like you shower.
Oh my God.
You don't even look like you shower, man. And you mad at the world? You mad at the sisters? Brush your teeth, comb your hair, bro. Like, I wish some people they don't really listen. They don't really look at themselves, and it's too uncomfortable. It ain't comfortable being fly. It ain't comfortable being beautiful. It ain't comfortable being successful neither. That takes
It ain't
hard work. You think
hard work.
you think these women that are slim with a teardrop booty and six pack abs and you know that's
A lot of
getting
work.
all the attention? You don't think she wants to sit there in front of the couch and eat a
Eat.
big bucket of Bluebell ice cream and smoke
That's it.
weed?
Yeah. I said, shit. That's a lot of work. You see them flat abs and tight little ass and nice tits. Shit. Don't let them women fool you. They
That is
work out
pain.
7 days a week.
Well, let me tell you, man, especially when you get older, like me, like these women, they get up. Some of these women, they go to work. They get up 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym, and then
Yeah.
they're there. Then they gotta rush to work, and then they're there all day. Then they're weighing. They weigh their food. You know, they make sure like, no, I'm not going over my calories. They're tracking their calories just to
Yeah.
look good, and they
Yeah.
hustle hard on top of that. Somebody like I tell these guys, I'm like, you don't think she wants to do the same shit you're doing? Just be a sack all day. You know, a sack is a ball. It's just a ball sack. You just hang there. You do nothing.
Yeah.
You
I'm
think a
telling you,
woman
man.
don't want to be a sack just like you all day?
I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. I was in the gym with a girl 2 weeks ago. Boy, she was working out like a machine, boy. I said, oh my God. I said, whoa, man.
Hell
Man, that
yeah,
was
man.
impressive, boy.
Hell,
You know?
hell yeah, man. Like I tell Kat, I'm like, look, man. You know, if and this all ties in with colorism and dating. It's like that self-esteem. You know, change. First off, change your mindset. Be positive. You know,
Yeah.
pray if you have to. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
religious. I'm not religious.
Me
You
either.
know what I'm saying?
I believe
I
in
don't
prayer.
believe.
I believe in prayer, though. I believe in prayer,
Yes,
though.
yes, I believe in prayer. Prayer works. I prayed for shit that I prayed for the impossible, and the universe worked in its favor to me. So I want to do a whole video talking about prayer. Prayer works. You don't have to be religious to pray,
Yeah.
but you're putting your thoughts and your words out into the universe, and it'll come back to you. You know, pray if you have to. Change your mindset. Be confident in yourself. Stop thinking that shit is just uh, the grass is greener on the other side of the globe, because it isn't. You know what I'm saying? If you want to travel, travel. If that's your thing. See, traveling is my thing. I get a rush getting off that airplane and being in another country.
Yeah, me too.
That's just
Yeah.
fun to me. I
Yeah.
remember when
I don't like necessarily like the plane ride, though. Oh, boy.
oh no.
But the destination, that's the thrill that I get joy, you know?
Right. But you know, don't come over here for love. Don't come over here for
Oh,
hoes.
no. Oh, no.
Be- Because the hoes ain't out here.
Oh, no. No.
The hoes
Yeah.
the hoes ain't even fucking their own men out here.
No, they not. Really. Not like that, you know?
You got
Well,
some of
so
these
you're,
men, they're sexless, and then they get into some weird shit. They start
yeah.
watching porn. They start watching weird alien tentacle porn. You know, some of that
Yeah, that's all
Japanese
kind of
hentai porn. It's
crazy.
that tentacle weirdo
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, they getting all kind of crazy. They got some sex cafes and the private clubs. They got all kind of crazy fetish stuff going on over there. I told them dudes, man, I'm not doing none of that crazy shit. Y'all crazy. I said they got y'all crazy over here.
I saw an
Going.
article. I saw an article. I think you've seen this before too. It was in Japan, and it was some cafe where the men they walk in, and there's this wall, and there's a hole cut out, and the women they stick their ass through the hole.
Oh
So
yeah, I
the
saw that.
men they go over and they eat the women's ass, lick her pussy, and all that shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like, that's how thirsty men are.
yeah. They got all kind of crazy fetishes going on over there. I'm like, I'm not doing. I don't understand. They don't. They say they don't want to be bothered with women, but then they'll go to the sex bars and the parties and the private clubs, and they'll pay, but they don't want to be in no type of relationship or no type of just dating period. I said, what? That doesn't make any sense. You're still interacting with women.
Yeah.
So I got to pay to play? Oh no, I'll date. I ain't got to marry a woman, but I'll date. I'm not gonna go without. I'm not paying for no sex. You crazy. Y'all crazy over here. That's what I told them dudes when I was over there. Y'all crazy.
Right.
Y'all crazy. They say, oh, I'd rather just pay. I don't want to date. I don't want to go on a coffee date or dinner date or in Japan they do the group date. You know how they do it, right? They'll have you have 4 guys. You might have 3 or 4 guys and 3 or 4 or 5 women. They'll show up at a restaurant, bar, or whatever, and they'll keep doing that. And over time, some people will somehow start a conversation and connect, and some of them will, and some of them won't. And they'll just keep doing that over and over. So they leave the dating by chance.
They do that for years too.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it don't.
Why the hell I'm going to show up for something like this? No, pass.
Yeah. Good.
Unless I know the girl that's there, that's going to be there that I want to talk to. But other than that, I'm not going.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I don't know. They put on this face as if they're innocent, they're pure, clean. So they'll get in groups and they'll hang out with each other for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Nobody is hooked up in that group.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It don't work like that in America. If you see a group and they're hanging out together for years, somebody's fucking. Matter of fact, somebody in that group started fucking within the first week. They started hanging out with each other in a group. They've been together. I remember, before I even came out to Asia, I was in Vancouver. There's a lot of Asians in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And I was dating this Taiwanese girl. She introduced me to her sister and other people in the Taiwanese community. I was like, okay, they got this whole restaurant that they hang out with at. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Everybody's pretty nice towards me. And her sister, her sister looked better than the older sister I was with. I'm like, God damn, I wish I was fucking the youngest. But anyways, she was of age, so she was telling me, like, we were walking and talking, she was telling me, like, I like, what's his name? I'm like, oh, you like him? She was like, yeah. I'm like, how long have you known him? She goes, I've known him for like 1.5 years. I'm like,
wow.
You ain't said nothing? She was like,
nope.
No. I'm like, hold on, man. Let me holler at him for you, because I say the right things at the right time. You see, don't get a nerd to hook you up, because a nerd will fuck it all up, because they don't know what to say. They just blurt out anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I know how to hook y'all. No, I'm not just gonna point you. I'm gonna ask him about you and what you feel. You know what I'm saying? I know how to work. I know how to work my move and do my thing. And she was like, no. Like, she was
that's
shy and scared.
Yeah, exactly. That's common amongst all of them. All of them that I met is like that. If you say, hey, wait a minute, I can hook you up with her. No, please don't. I'm like, wait a minute, you told me you were interested in him. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm so nervous. I'm so shy. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I'll let you know. Okay. So it's just that type of deal, you know. It's a bunch of confusion. They leave things by chance. They waiting
and,
on the guy to say something, basically.
and they'll sound just like that also. I don't know. They'll start whining.
Yeah, they waiting on the guy. If the guy never says anything, he ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm like, oh no, that doesn't. I don't know. I'm not gonna be showing up like that. No damn 6 months, a year. Hell that. Only take me one day.
Yeah,
One day. There's somebody in there. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be how many girls in there? 5 or 6. Okay, at least one of them should get my attention. You know,
and,
that's it. I ain't
and then
doing it.
like in China, I would see them because they got those real nice lavish clubs over in China, but in Beijing, the nightclub, you know, a lot of Chinese people like, especially those the upscale, the rich Chinese, they'll come to the club and they'll drop thousands. They spend a lot of money on partying in China. So they'll come in a big group. It'll be guys and girls. They'll have like this big table filled with food, drinks, everything.
They
And
be buying bottles and everything, huh? They
yeah,
buy bottles. Okay.
yeah, they buy bottles. And so the girls will leave the club with the white boys. The girls that they
Really?
came with will leave with the white boys. And it's like,
Damn.
I'm like, that's what y'all get. Y'all know why do y'all hang around? Why do y'all suffer in silence? You know you want to bang this chick. Why can't you just say it's like that's a lack of confidence. That's why she don't want to get with you because it's like you not man enough to speak to her. If you're not man enough to speak to a woman, then it's like okay, you're not man enough to be in a relationship with me. You're not man enough to, you know, stick up for me in a situation where I need you the most to be a man. When it comes to being man, I can't count on you to be a man if you can't speak to me.
Yeah.
That's
A lot of women see it like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 All right, man. So yeah, we got sidetrack a little bit, but it's still game. It's all in the
Yeah.
realm of game.
Yeah.
So, any final words on colorism?
Well, you get your mind right, you get your body right, you get your game right, man, and everything will take care of itself, you know. So hey, I would say just go check out my channel, Guy on Girl TV, and check out my websites, chooseyourrelationships.com and badboysecretsclub.com. That's it.
And that's was final words. You know, I understand that there's racism out there. There's a system. There's a system that is attacking you every single day. Yes. Okay, but you
Yep.
can't change that. You cannot.
Nope.
You can't become. You can't even turn yourself completely white and be able to change. You saw what happened to Michael Jackson. Okay, so here's a person who completely changed his. He changed his hair. He changed his nose. He changed his skin. He turned pale. He started buying monkeys. He started climbing trees, and they still attacked him, calling him Wacko Jacko when he was
Yeah.
alive. All right, so there's no escaping it. You can't make yourself
Nope.
lighter because light skinned folks, sure, some of them might get a little bit more attention because y'all
Yeah.
view that as a standard of beauty, but they still go through hell and high water just like you. All right, so
Yep.
there's no sense of trying to cape for another group of men because people don't like this shit. You know, you might see that in a black community where people can cape for you, and you know, because black folks are so fucking thirsty, they'll accept them. But
Yeah.
it don't work like that in other communities. We're the only ones that do that for some odd reason.
Yeah.
It don't work
Yeah.
like that in other communities, and nobody's gonna fully accept you. Now they'll take advantage of you and use you sexually,
Oh yeah.
but that's about it.
Yep.
You're just a cum rag. You know, you just
Yep.
I come over, I dump cum on you, and I'm done. That's it. They take advantage of you. All right, so like Sharp Game said, you get your mind right, you get your body right, you get your spirit right, and don't date out of spite. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Date because you get along with this person. Date because this person respects you and you have something there to offer that is to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I always tell you guys to learn about your history, learn about yourselves. See, when you don't stand for nothing, and people gonna talk to you however they feel like it because you're coming over to a group of people who stand for something. You dig? So once you get that down packed, everything will be all right. And stop shitting on each other. Stop spewing self-hatred and talking down on black men. Black men, stop talking down on sisters on the internet. That shit looks corny. And the men on the internet, you know, who talk down on black women, these aren't no pause. These aren't no I don't know who these aren't no Morris Chestnut looking dudes. These aren't no Michael B. Jordan looking dudes that's saying this shit. These aren't no Shamar Moore looking dudes that's saying this shit.